Hi, good evening, all of you guys. Hope all of you can hear me.
Yes, sir.
Right, guys? Yeah, yeah. Is the audible, guys? Is the voice is clear, or are you getting any noise or any disturbance? Is it clear?
No,
Yes,
sir, all clear.
All clear? Right, right, guys. Just a second, guys. Just give me a second. Just give me a second, guys. Yeah, right, guys. Yeah. So, guys, hope all of you have been attended the yesterday's demo session. I think I can see some new guys are there. Some things who has been joined newly. Can I please let me know, guys, if anybody has been joined for the today's class? I think Sonal yesterday joined, Pushpalata yesterday joined. I think anybody is there who has been joined for the today's class. If today is your first class, please let me know. You can
Yes, sir.
use the chat panel. Right, right. Yeah, who is this?
Yeah,
Pankaj, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yes, sir.
okay, okay. Pankaj, you are first class. Okay, fine. Any others? Anil also, you are the first class, right? Any others? Yeah, okay. Yeah, Mohanty, you are first class. Nagma, okay. Taskin, Nagma, Taskin, right. So I can see some 4 or 5 guys who has been joined for the today's class. No worries about them. Why? Because just a second, guys. Right. Okay. So yesterday we have been just started with just a small introduction part, like what is data visualization? Why do you require a data visualization skill? So who exactly nowadays, why people are preferring to learn the data visualization skills basically? So everyone, so almost all everyone who is working into the data analyst or a data science or even some kind of an even some kind of a data engineering people. Generally, data engineering people won't require, but mostly the data science, data analyst, and not only that, report developers. So these are all going to be required some kind of an a data visualization skills actually. So we all of you know what is an importance of data visualization actually, guys. It's a very important role nowadays. So we are converting all our data, which is going to be there in a textual format. We are going to be gets converting into a visual context. Why? Because whenever we go for a visual, some kind of a patterns, trends, correlations, all these are can be detected only whenever we go for a data visualization. So visually, when you see the data, then only we can understand the patterns actually. So see the data in a visual format, not instead of writing just doing the data by using some kind of an value based or a text based. If you see, you have to read the data and we have to understand it. But instead of that one, if you go something like in a visually, if you go there, so it is going to be very easy to understand the data. So interpretation of the data in a visual format. So which is going to be what a data visualization expert, data visualization skill it is going to be. So as I told you, like basically nowadays we have, that means whenever we want to develop some kind of a data visuals, basically we have two options are there. One is going to be, I told you, which is going to be some kind of an a scripting based tools are going to be there, like scripting based by you writing some kind of a scripts and we can do that. And otherwise we are going to be having some kind of an edge UI based tools, what we are going to be having it actually. It's like an edge UI based actually, guys, completely drag and drop actually. Examples of scripting I told you, which is going to be by using some kind of an the languages like by using some kind of an Python, or you can use a language like an R, etc., etc. We can use it. So we have a Python different libraries. In R, we have a different types of libraries. Okay, so using them, we can develop some kind of an scriptings what we can develop. So don't think that scriptings means generally most of the people thinks that scripting means there is very small, there is a lot of limitations will be there. We have to write a lot of lines of code. All these are not required actually, guys. With a simple 1 or 2 lines of code only, we can do, we can perform, we can perform a lot of data visualizations. I'll just show you a little bit more and more in the today's session. Also, I'll show you. Coming to the GUI based, what is going to be GUI based tools actually, guys? That means without writing any code, without writing any script. So even a person who do not know any programming language, simply by using a drag and drop options, we can develop this kind of the whatever this particular the tools, the reports what we can develop it actually. Like we are having the tools like which is going to be Power BI. If I talk about the history about them, we have to talk about the history of data visualizations. If I start from 2005 actually, guys. So because I have I used to work on that particular, even in 2005 also, I have been got worked with the reporting tools. So at that time we used to use, if I talk about the history actually, guys, there are so many reporting tools are there. So we are having a tool called as an Cognos. So they're little bit in initial days, that means in 2005, if I remember, we used to use a tool called as an Cognos is the one of the reporting tool what we used to use it. It was developed by Cognos, a company called as an Cognos, but later it has been acquired by IBM. Now IBM is maintaining this Cognos software actually, guys. If you want, you can just go online and you can check it out. What is going to be the Cognos? It's a one of the very oldest, very oldest tool actually, guys. So which is going to be a Cognos. So which is going to be one of the, what we can see is, it is a business intelligence tool. You can see that IBM, it has been Cognos Analytics. Reporting is a web-based reporting authoring tool that professional report authors and developers use to build some sophisticated and multiple page, multiple query reports against multiple databases. So this is a lot of history is there actually, guys. It's not started in the recent years. The history was started in around 2005. It was started actually. And we used to use some kind of a reports called as an business objects, BOs, which we used to call it as BOs. Now it has been acquired by SAP. Now it is a part of SAP BO actually. So these are very oldest reporting tools actually, guys. Okay, now they have been outdated. So if you want, you can see what is going to be the SAP BO, which is going to be what we can call it as the SAP, which is going to be the business objects, so business intelligence tool, what we used to call it as actually. You can see the business objects. So it is also going to be one of the tool which is going to be, it has been acquired actually, guys. It was not developed. You can see that business objects was an enterprise software company specialized in business intelligence. Business objects was acquired in 2007 by the German company SAP. So the company claimed more than this one. It is also one of the reporting tools, what we can say that. A business intelligence is a centralized suite for data reporting, visualization, and sharing. I'll tell you about BI concepts also. Even I was experts in the BI concept also. Because Power BI, first of all, what is that BI only? We have to study it actually, guys. Yes, Power BI. What is that business intelligence? So why? What is basically the business intelligence? What exactly the business intelligence contains? And where this particular reporting is going to be fits into the business intelligence applications? I'll give an idea about that. Like what is BI and all these things we have to. Why? Because in interview point of view, even they may ask you about some concepts of business intelligence. What is BI? What are facts? What are going to be dimension tables? What are fact tables? What are star schemas? What is snowflake schemas? So we have some part of business intelligence. So as a BI developer, not only just understanding what is how to generate the reports, how to build the reports, we also has to know some part of BI. Why? Because the name itself is saying that Power BI. It's a Power BI, which is going to be business. BI stands for business intelligence. Okay. So there are going to be so many tools are there actually, guys, like Power BI. We are having a Tableau. Okay. We are going to be having a Tableau, or we are having something like which is going to be a click view or a click sense. So these are going to be some of the GUI based reporting tools we are going to be having it actually, guys. It's a click. I think click. It's not QLCK. It is QLIK. Click. It's a click sense what we are going to call it as. So, but anyhow, I told you, reporting is a skill actually, guys. Reporting is not about like learning a tool or learning a language or something like that. It is one of the skill it is going to be. So what are the different types of the data visualization options we have? what are the different types of charts, what are the different types of visualization options we are going to be having, why should I use them, okay, what are aggregates, what are details, we have to understand it actually. So the only difference between scripting and GUI based, so many people think that scripting is nothing but we cannot develop a complicated, or we cannot develop any which is going to be user friendly reports actually. But using scriptings also, guys, we can develop some kind of an most complicated reports, we can do it actually. But only thing is the user should know a little bit. It's not a programmatical skills, but it is going to be some kind of an scripting skills are required actually, guys. We have to write some kind of an scripts, what we have to write it actually. As of my experience, I'm saying it is my experience, guys. I don't know what about the other people. As of my experience, why? Because since the last 5 years, I'm working into the data science and data analytics. So I find it that I even like even the way, that means whenever I am taking some sessions on this particular GUI based, so the notes is going to be like how the notes is going to be like is actually, guys, from the menu. So from the so and so menu option, right click on that, click on this, select this option. So that is going to be the nodes actually, guys. So while we are discussing about this Power BI or any GUI based tools, your notes will be like this only, guys. My explanation will be like this only. So drag and drop this, right click on this, drag this option here, drop this option here, select this option. Okay, click on this. So something like that, everything is going to be like that only. So even if you want to write the notes also, you have to just write down the navigation only. We have to just practice the navigation only, guys. Nothing to learn here now. But here it is not like that, because whenever it is a navigation, it is not a concept. Anybody can learn the navigation. Only thing is just a practice. Just a practice actually, guys. Everything is visible there. Only thing is we have to go for a trial. Like we have to try with a different options. We have to try it actually. But whereas in scripting based, it is not like that. Unless and until you have a clear idea about that, if we have a clear control on that, then we can develop this kind of in scriptings, what we can do that. So I feel, because in scriptings, I can show you the code. I can show you the code. So this is the code. By looking at the code, you can understand what is the output. But whenever in a GUI based, if I show you a visualization, you cannot understand how that particular visualization has came. So we have to go and we have to verify. So scripting is more user control, whereas GUI based is going to be nothing but easy. It is going to be simple, easy, drag and drop. So time saving. Okay, without having any much knowledge, we can do that. But here, everything is going to be a scripting based. We have to do it actually. Everything we have to do it by the scripting actually. But one of the main advantage of using the GUI based is, guys, as of my experience, I'm saying that it is going to be what we can call it as a dashboard reporting actually, guys. Mainly in the real applications, the clients or the business people, they don't work with a single report at a time. They want multiple reports at a time. Multiple reports means in a single screen, in a single window, they want all that kind of a reports. It's not type of all the reports at a time. What do you mean to say dashboarding means? I'll just show you what is meaning of a dashboarding. A dashboard reports, what we are going to call it as. That is the one of the main advantage of using the these GUI based tools actually, guys. Is it not possible in the scripting? Yes, it is possible actually, guys. But users need to know something little bit more and more. That means it's not like only if you know the Python, it is not sufficient, or if you know the only R is not sufficient. Along with that, some other extra frameworks are also going to be required, like something something like HTML tools or HTML applications we require. Some additional topics are required. It will makes a little bit confusion for most of the people. But as of, if you ask a real data, if you ask a person, he says that he will be a lot of a little bit data visualization, simple reportings only we can do. But if you ask a real expert on the data visualization, he can develop any kind of a reports he can develop. We have beautiful reports we can develop by using the scripting based, we can develop it actually. I'll show you some of them so that you can get some kind of an idea. I'll also show you which are going to be, some of them are not possible in the Power BI applications also. I'll just an idea, I'll show you that applications. But main important is which is going to be what we are going to call it as a dashboard reporting. So maybe some of you guys knows about that, what is meaning of a dashboard reporting, but just I'll show you a small dashboard report. I'll show you actually, guys, a small dashboard report. So guys, I didn't started anything with the Power BI. Don't worry. Don't install any softwares also as of now. Okay, don't install anything. I'll tell you what you have to install and how to work with that later. If already installed, well and good. If in the case, if it is not installed, why? Because anyhow, there is a latest update. Every month there will be latest updates will be there. So we can work with that particular updates actually, guys. Okay. Anyhow, we'll install the latest updates only and we'll see with that application actually. Okay. Now, so just don't no worries. Yesterday, who has been got attended nowadays, Python has been become a common skill for anybody, guys. Almost all everybody is known. They may be not experts in that, but at least they have a knowledge about like what is pandas, numpy. What is Python, numpy? What is going to be pandas? Maybe beyond that, they may not know about that, but not almost all anyone who is learning Python nowadays, everyone who is learning Python, so almost all they knows about that particular applications. So because I was a Python and R expert, so I can show you because I was a data science expert actually. So I can show you everything with the respect to the Python and R I can show you, but I don't want to mix up all the things. So just a quick understanding, guys. Yesterday I told you this is your Power BI, whatever the desktop window is going to be there. So as we discussed about that, just we are going to be getting the data actually, guys. So yesterday I have been using now, guys, any data you can use it. I have been extracted the data from a data set called as n, which is going to be a used cars.csv file, a very small data set actually, guys. A very small data set, which is having a very few number of columns, like 6 or 7 columns we have the data. And after that, we are going to be having somewhere around 150 or something we have the records actually, guys. So this is going to be that it's going to be nothing but just the preview of what exactly it is going to be showing you. And just I'm going to be clicking on this option, what I'm going to call it as load actually, guys, without writing any code actually, guys. Without writing any code, we are importing. That is the only thing what we are doing. If you go to scripting based, we have to write some code. Writing some code means you need not to write a big program. Just a one line of code, you have to write it. 1 or 2 lines of code, not more than that. So one line of code is for importing and one line of code is basically for, which is going to be for importing the libraries, and one line of code is for importing of the data actually, guys. Okay. So we can see it is loading the data, just a few seconds of time. It won't take that much time. Right. Can you see very clearly, guys? It has been imported totally 150 rows of data. It has been got imported actually. So this is your data actually, guys. We'll see them. These are all the different types of visualizations, bar charts, okay, line charts, scatter plots, pie charts, funnel charts. Okay, so these are going to be histograms, what we can see them. Okay, so many options are going to be there. Slicer is going to be there. A table is going to be there. This is what we call it as a matrix. Even if you want, you can script, you can write the script actually, guys. R scripts and Python scripts, we can write it. Okay, so something like that. Some of them has been got imported. I'll show you the application later actually, guys. Okay, now, so simple application. I'm not using any this one. I'm just using a normal table actually, guys. You can see the table. Don't worry. Later we'll work with that application actually. See, guys, it is going to be a simple table I'm going to be using. Simple table. So if you are familiar with any database knowledge, everybody knows about what is a table. Almost all who have the knowledge, who do not have the knowledge, does not matter. What is a table? A table is nothing but it's an object which is used to display the data in the format of rows and columns. It is a text based actually, guys. It's not a visualization. Now see, I'm going to be selecting some data actually, guys. Like I'm selecting for example, I'm selecting a column like which is going to be the year column. I have been got selected actually. Okay, don't worry. I'll show you the data actually. So it is going to be year column is going to be getting displayed. Okay, I don't want to summarize. You can see the data actually. Just you can see the data actually, guys. So what are the different years of data? See, 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004. I just want to select what are going to be the different models of cars. What are the different models of cars we have it actually? What are their prices? What are their mileages, etc., etc. We can see it actually, guys. So I'm not going for any, don't worry about that. I'll tell you what are those particular applications later. I will tell you about that particular applications later actually, guys. So see guys, this is going to be the data what we have been got it actually. This is the data what we can see it actually, which is going to be a simple tabular format, which we can see with the data actually, guys. Just see how user friendly and how simply we can develop the kind of a reports. Now, this is a tabular format actually. It's a table actually, guys. Just beside the table, I'm going to be placing something called as, a slicer. I'm going to be placing it actually, guys. Have a look at this. This is going to be nothing but a slicer. Just have a look at this. I'm going to be selecting the, which is going to be the model, and I'm dropping it actually, guys. Can observe carefully. This is the data, what we have it actually, guys. See, I just want to show you how simple the reporting is there. It is not a complicated one. Functional wise, if you see, it is a very complicated one. See, if I selected the option called as an SE, observe carefully, guys. Whenever I selected the option SE, automatically the table is going to be filtering the data, which is going to be only the SC model cars only it is going to be showing you. If I selected SEL, then automatically it is showing you only SEL model cars only. If I selected only SES, it is showing you only the SES model cars only what we can see. You can see the data. Only the SES model cars only it is going to show you actually. You can apply as many filters you can apply actually, guys. Let me place another filter if I place it actually. In this filter, I'm going to be placing, which is going to be the year I'm going to be placing it actually, guys. Just see how I'm going to be doing the option actually, guys. At different options, at different ways, we can extract that particular data actually, guys. Don't worry about that. Later, we are going to be working with all that kind of a techniques, what we are going to be using it actually. So it is going to be just, we can do some kind of an like in slicing. It is also slicing, but it is going to be range slicer, what we are going to call it as. So once if you select that particular option, it is going to be placed. We'll see them. We'll see that applications later actually. So if you can observe carefully, what do you mean to say dashboard reporting? What do you mean to say dashboard reporting means? This is what we can call it as dashboard reporting. Means whenever I selected one option here, automatically all the other reports has to reflect the data which is related to whatever the data I have been selected. See, simple. I selected the option called as an SEL. I selected the option called as an SES. You can see that. But you are unable to select which is going to be, that means you can select it actually, guys, like this, multi-select. Control plus select, I have been got selected actually. Control plus select action, whatever the option you can select it. So control plus select, multi-select options are there. We have an options are there, don't worry. So if you go to that particular options of which is going to be the slice, there we are having the options are there. So you can select that option. What are slicer settings actually? Orientation is vertical, orientation is horizontal. It is an horizontal actually. Selection, do you want to allow multiple selections? Do you want to select all option is going to be there? Can you see? There is going to be an option is going to be all options are there. Do you want to allow to multiple select? Multiple select means user can select multiple selects, he can do that. So do you want that option or not? So like that, we are having the option is going to be there. Single select. If I select single select, only one option can be selected at a time. So if I select the other one automatically, can you see the report is changing automatically? But if I try to use click plus select, it won't allow you to do it actually, guys. It won't allow you to do it actually. Why? Because this is going to be the one what we can see it actually. See, automatically it is going to be changing it actually. Like same. These are what we are going to call it as dashboards. So within a single screen, I will put multiple options at a time, and I'm going to do it actually. Is it not possible in the scripting base? No, it is possible, guys, but a little bit more coding because the interaction between one plot and other plot, all these are going to be makes a little bit. The scripting is going to becomes a little bit complicated, but it is not going to be that we can't do it actually, guys. So that is one of the advantage of using this GUI based. So the main advantage is going to be we can develop the reports. I'm not saying that reports are simple. By using a simple drag and drops only. So simple drag and drops, we can develop the reports actually. So which is going to be, time is going to be within a very less time you can develop the reports. So today the report is very small report. But whenever we want to develop some kind of an complicated reports, so we cannot, it will take some time whenever we go for the scripting based. But whenever we go for a GUI based, it is going to be a very simple, less time it is going to take it actually. And one of the advantages dashboards. So even in the dashboards also we can develop it. I can just tell you. So there is in Python, we are having something, a library called as an dash. So maybe I don't know. Even if we have been worked with the Python also, they may not know about that Plotly and the dash. These are the two libraries which we uses basically for dashboard reporting. They will do that actually. So we develop with the help of the Python code, or by using R code, we can write it actually. You don't really require a much skill or some kind of a knowledge. The programmatical skills and all these things are not going to be required. So simple drag and drop features actually, guys, within a less time you can do, and which we can say dashboard, and more user interactive reports. That is the main advantage actually, guys. User interactivity. So more user interactive reports we can say. So if I select this option, it has to change this report. Whenever I select this option, it has to change the report. User interaction will be there. Mostly whenever we work with the Python scripting layers, the scripting based, it is not generally user interactive. Users won't interact with them. Static reports. There are going to be something like a static reports. Users can't select the option. Automatically, some kind of a static report that can be developed with the help of this kind of the scripting based applications. But a very beautiful applications, we can do it actually. Almost all every with a single line of code, they can develop it actually, guys. I'll show you some kind of the reports which we can do that, because I was an expert in that. So I have a lot of expert in that. So I can show you like different application with a simple line of code. So many people think that it's going to be not that much, it's easy to write the scripts actually. One line of code, 2 lines of code, hardly 2 to 3 lines of code, that is sufficient. Whatever the reports you require, we can develop it actually. Whatever the type of reports. Now you can place, what is dashboard reporting actually, guys? So place one, which is going to be a scatter plot here now. Place one scatter plot. Just like you see how we are going to be prepare the presentations in PowerPoint presentations, that much simple we are going to be developing this kind of a reports actually. You can place as many reports, we can place it actually. So same technique, I'm going to be selecting the, let us say price on the x-axis, the mileage on the y-axis. I'm going to be doing that. So don't worry why I'm saying that do not summarize. I'll tell you the applications. So this is going to be the whatever that particular data points are there. Yesterday we have been seen now, but observe carefully. It is only for SES. If I select this, only SC model. If I select this, only SEL model. See, the table is changing, the plot is changing, everything is going to be changing actually. I didn't done any coding at all. I didn't done any interaction with that. I didn't written any code. This is going to be wherever the canvas, wherever I'm placing this, it is itself is going to be by default a dashboard. I didn't written any code for that. Just I dragged it and dropped it there. Automatically, they will be interrelated. So once I selected SC, you can see that. Only SC model cars data only it is displaying. When I selected SES, automatically table data is changing, as well as your scatter plot is also changing actually. See, it's very clear. Very less number of samples in SEL. That's why we can see very less number of points what we can see. Okay, so there are so many features are there. So if you see, whenever I put a pointer on the point, it is telling you what is the value. So it is telling the value actually, guys. This feature is what we are going to call it as the hovering feature, what we are going to call it as hover, H-O-V-E-R, hover. When I put a pointer on this, so printing that particular, it is plotting that particular the value. What is that value? It is telling about that. That feature is going to be nothing but what we are going to call it as the hovering feature actually. So just if you want to know everything, you can check it out actually, guys. It is going to be what is going to be the hover feature actually, guys. Normally, it's not only here, it's a normally what is meaning of the hover feature in, let us say that in visualization. Anywhere it is going to be the same technique actually, guys. So what is meaning of an hover feature actually, guys? It's an interactive. It is nothing but an interactivity actually, guys. So which is going to be hover actions, how we are going to do that. So see, hovering to highlight, whenever I just move the pointer there, highlighting the elements in response to mouse interaction, is a common way to make your visual feel more responsive, and it can help you. So these are going to be the applications actually. Just when you put a pointer there, it is going to do it actually, guys. So how to do that? So I can do it by scriptings also. Don't think that it is going to be for everything. There is a library is going to be there. There is going to be a little bit libraries will be there actually, guys. For every option you work, we are going to be having them actually. Okay. So don't worry. It is an out of our discussion. Just to show you like how simple the reporting. Yesterday I shown you one example, like just a small report, how I have been got developed it actually. So today also I'll just show you one or two examples actually, and it is always better to know. So don't think that you are learning Power BI, you should be knowing only about Power BI. What are the other? As I told you, it's not a concept of learning Power BI. It's a concept of learning a data visualization skill. So whether you work with Power BI or whether you work with Tableau, whether you work with ClickView or something or a Python or anything, just an idea like what is data visualization? So how we can do, what are the different options are there? Why? Because we don't know. Whenever we go for a company, sometimes you may require some kind of a Python scripts may be required. So if you're familiar with the Python scripts, it will be very easy to do that actually. Why? Because you can see there is an R script is there, and there is going to be Python script is there. So if you want, if you are expert in Python, for example, if anybody asks me to develop a report in Power BI, I don't know anything about Power BI. For example, I have a complete expertise in Python. Then simply I can write a Python script, I can write it and I can develop it actually. I can just write the Python script and automatically it is going to be gets converted into the data visualization, what it is going to be gets converted actually. Okay. So like that, like that, we are going to be gets working with that kind of an applications, what we are going to be using it actually. So just I'll show you like how simple the coding we can do that and how exactly we are going to be using it actually. Just I'll show small libraries I'll show you so that you can understand. Like scripting is also very easy. My main point of discussion here is don't think that scriptings are complicated and the GUI based are going to be easy. Scripting is also very easy, but a little bit programmatical skills are going to be required. Whereas whenever we work with this kind of a GUI based applications, you don't require any programmatical skills. If you just have a knowledge of some basic SQL, that is going to be sufficient with that. Okay. So don't worry, just listen out of the discussion, guys. Just the same kind of an applications, how we can develop in Python or how can you develop in R. I'm talking about a scripting based. I'm just comparing a scripting based with a GUI based. How do you do it in scripting based? How do you do it in a, which is a GUI based? I didn't use any keyboard. Everything is a drag and drop. Only with the help of the mouse, I developed it. Whereas whenever we come to the scripting based, I don't use the mouse. I don't use the mouse. Everything I'm going to be doing with the help of a coding only, I'm going to be doing it actually. So just I'm opening a small Jupyter notebook. Jupyter notebook are nothing but the notebooks which we use it to write some Python. Not only Python, it supports so many languages, so many frameworks it will support it. Python, R, Scala, Spark, anything, almost all, anywhere we can use it actually. Yes, no worries about that. But as of now, I'm writing a Python script only, just a small Python scripts I'll write it. Just see how simple the scripts are going to be there. Without writing any much code, we can do it actually. Without writing any much code, I'll show you like how simple the coding is going to be gets done actually. So whenever we want to do that, I have to import some libraries actually, guys. That is the only thing we have to do that. Which library is used for what purpose? So import, which is going to be, it's a Python libraries, guys. So I'm importing a library called as an matplotlib dot, which is going to be pyplot as an PLT. So it's an out of the discussion, guys. So just it is only as a part of introduction only we are talking about that. But once your actual classes starts, in our actual classes, we don't discuss anything about them. So 3 libraries, guys. One is a pandas, one is a matplotlib, and one is a seaborn. It's a part of data visualization skill only, but scripting based. So matplotlib and seaborn, there are 2 libraries which basically use it for data visualization. Seaborn is a little bit higher level. Pandas is basically used to import the data. So don't worry about that. And don't think that if you have to learn Python for learning Power BI, not required, guys. It's not mandatory. It is only just an optional. Why? Because sometimes we can interact with them. Sometimes we have an option is there. Even as I told you now, guys, even there is going to be some kind of machine learning. You can implement it, guys, but that is an out of the discussion. It is going to be out of the discussion actually, guys. Even some kind of a machine learning applications, text analytics, okay, so which are going to be part of data science. So because I know them, I can explain if you want. So if you have just to have a look at this, I'll show you an application actually, guys. Can observe carefully. This is going to be a Power Query editor actually, guys. In the Power Query editor, if you can see at the last, what we can see is there is going to be something called as a text analytics. This is going to be nothing but something called as an cognitive services. Normally, normal Power BI people, they don't discuss about that. But being I was into the machine learning, being I was into the text analytics, and being it is what is this particular cognitive services actually. Cognitive services are nothing but working with images actually, guys. It is working with the images. So generally, who are into the machine learning, deep learning, they knows about that. Even text analytics, as part of NLP related application, they use this actually. And this is going to be some kind of an Azure machine learning services we are using it actually. See, they are also having some integration with them actually. Azure machine learning, what we can see it actually. So even they are going to be integrated. So because I was an expert in both data science and machine learning and etc., I know why do you require them. You don't require them actually, but I know that how to use it. Just I'll give an idea about what is text analytics. So text analytics also we are going to be doing it actually. Okay. Now have a look at this. A simple example I'm doing it actually, guys. See, just to show you the idea how simple it is going to be there. So I'm reading some CSV files actually. Like that, we have to write the scripts. D:/, it is a data / the same file, which I have been used earlier. This is going to be the cars data set. So whatever I shown there, the same data set I'm showing you here now. But here it is going to be as a table format. I can show you. It's a tabular format like this. Without writing any code, simply by drag and drop, I done it. But here I'm writing some kind of a code it is going to be. Just have a look at this, how simple it is going to be. SNS dot, which is going to be a scatter plot. So everything is a scripting based. So there is a Seaborn library is there, scatter plot. Simple. X is equal to nothing but price. Y is equal to nothing but it is a mileage. And I said data is equal to nothing but it's a cars data set actually. PLT not sure. Don't worry about that. It's not related to you guys. So how the scripting based will be written and how the GUI based is going to be written. Same plot, guys. This plot and this plot are going to be exactly the same only. This plot and this plot is exactly the same only actually, guys. So actually, let me do one thing. Go to the slicer settings and I'll select the option to select multi-select. Single select is off. Multi-select, we are going to do that. And all option also, we are going to be doing it. All option. So I'll say select all. All of the options are done. So this report and this report, if you see, this visualization, if you see, exactly the same only, guys. Nothing difference is there. Same colors are slightly difference is there. Here also it is going to be there. Yesterday, if you just remember, like different cars, I want to plot it in a different colors. Then I selected the model and dropped it into something like a legend. So each model is been displayed with a different color. SC model with a blue colors, SCL model with a violet color, SCS models are going to be pink colors. How do you do it actually? Yes. Here we are going to be doing hue is equal to model. Just it is an ideas actually, guys. I don't say that it's not possible. Absolutely possible. But only thing is you have to learn those things actually. Clearly, guys, clearly, if you want to learn all these data, these visual skills actually, guys, these visual skills, whatever that is available on the screen by default, if you want to learn all these data visualizations, it hardly takes 2 hours of time, guys. It takes only 2 hours of time actually, guys, to learn those particular skills. But if you want to learn the same data visualization within 2 days, you can develop the reports. Just 2 days is sufficient, guys. You can develop the report. Simple, at least some basic reporting, you can do it. But here, at least it requires 1 week to 10 days to do a, whenever we want to perform some kind of a data visualization here, we have to require it actually. Same example, I can just show you with an as many options. So multiple options are there. I'm not saying that we can't do that actually, but we can do it actually. So which is going to be SNS dot. Let us say something like an rel plots, I'm going to be using it. Just have a look at this, what I'm going to do it actually. I said column is equal to model actually. See what has been happened actually. The SAL models into one plot, SES models into another plot, and this is into another plot. This also I can do it there, but just 3 different plots we have to take it, each one with a different data. We have to filter it and we have to do it actually. But here it is not like that. Simple application. They're also going to be developing a very beautiful reports actually, guys. Even 3D reports I can develop it actually, guys. 3D. We can develop some kind of a 3D view reports also, we can see it actually. So that is an out of the discussion, but scripting is also very easy. See how many lines of code I have been got written. Just a 2 lines of code I have been written. To read the data, 1 line of code, and to plot the data, it is going to be another just a 2 or 3 lines of code, what we can see. If you want, I can display the color also. Hue is equal to nothing but model, etc., what we can see that. So something like that, we can just perform this kind of an application. All the 3 in 3 different plots. All the 3 in 3 different plots, or within a single plot also we can do that. If I don't write this column equals to, it is just like a calling a function only, guys. If you observe carefully, what I'm doing is I'm just calling a function here now. The name of the function is going to be rel plot, passing the parameters and working here now. Here it is completely drag and drop option, what we are going to be doing it actually. This is what, so see, when I put a pointer on that, you can see this is going to be what I told you about the hover feature actually. So can you do the hovering feature here? Absolutely, we can do it, guys. But for that, we have a separate libraries are there. We use as a separate libraries are going to be there. Just I'll show you only for understanding. Import, which is going to be, it's going to be plotly dot, which is going to be express as which is going to be px. It's a library, guys. For every application you want to do, there is a library will be there. Just you have to import that particular library and we have to work with them. Except that nothing is going to be there. No functional code. You need not to write any coding for that. Just there is a library will be there. Import it and call the function which is going to be done. So the advantage is I told you, I can handle both of the applications actually. So it is very simple. Same technique actually. Just don't worry. It is going to be I'm using the same example actually. Cars. X is equal to price, Y is equal to nothing but it's a mileage. Over. Just I'll run the code. I'll just run the code. You can see it actually. So different libraries are there for a different purpose. So if you want to work with the hovering feature, this is going to be the plotly express is basically, it will take some time actually, guys. It will take some time to plot the data. So this is what? This is your textual data actually, guys. Normally, when you see the textual data, you can't understand anything like how many yellow color cars are there, how many SEL models are there, or how many year in 2011, or how many auto transmission cars. We can't understand it. But when you for the visually, if you see the data, it's very easy to understand, easy to interpret that particular data we have to require. So mostly the business users, the business analyst, see, this is going to be what I'm going to call it as this one actually. So put a pointer there. You can see it actually, guys. You can put a pointer there. It is going to be showing hovering feature actually. Just with a 1 line of code, what we can write. Hue is equal to nothing but model. Each model with a different colors, it will visualize it. It's taking some time and we can see it actually. I think it's not hue. There is some parameters will be there. It is color. It's a color is a parameter actually. So color is equal to model. So each model with a different color. I think exactly the same thing, guys. So it is going to be SE colors are in the orange color. These are SE models or red color. SES are going to be in the green color and the violet colors are going to be nothing but the model of SEL model. Same procedure, the same application as it is, we can see. But I didn't return any code for this actually, guys. I didn't return any code and I didn't return any scripting for that. Everything is a simple drag and drop option only. We have been got discussed about that. Okay. So this is, see guys, whenever I selected this point, automatically this is changing actually, guys. Why? Because it is going to be dashboard reporting. It is a dashboard reporting, guys. Once if we select one option here, how this particular, all this particular table and everything is changing, automatically it also changes. Interactivity. It is going to be a kind of an interactivity actually, guys. See, whenever I selected this, automatically it is going to be doing this option. Say I'm selecting multiple. This once I is on selecting each and every sample, one point is going to be plotting on the scatter plot. See, you can see very clearly. This is what we are going to call it as dashboarding actually, guys. Okay. So without writing any scripts, without writing any code for that, automatically it is going to be gets coming actually. So SES, if I selected SEL model, then the violet color will come. Previously SEL model cars are not there. Now I deselected this, only SE and SES cars. When I selected SEL, we are getting the car related to one SEL model also we can select it. Select all of them will come. Yes, select all of them, select all of them are going to be gets coming actually, guys. Okay. So that is going to be the way which we can visualize. So it's not like an Power BI or a Tableau or something thing, guys. You are learning some kind of a data visualization skills. What is a scatter plot? What is x-axis? What is y-axis? You can see the components actually, guys. What do you mean to say legend? Why do you require a legend? What is a size represents? We'll see all these particular properties. Only learn. So here what you learn it actually, guys. What is the scatter plot? What are these parameters represents actually? That's it. Apart from that, nothing we are going to be learning it actually, guys. So why do you require it? And what is the purpose of this? So what is x-axis? What is y-axis? What is a legend? Yesterday I told you about what do you mean to say about a grid lines. So these are some of the things what we have been got discussed about this one, guys. Okay. But anyhow, so no worries about that. These are only just a part of our introduction part actually, guys. So we have not started with any actual concepts. Okay. So if anybody has missed yesterday's class, guys, don't worry. So whatever we have been discussing is only as part of the basic introduction part. So, okay, guys. So that's it for the today's class. Okay, from my side, just yesterday and today, data visualization does not require much. Demo sessions are not required, guys. Within 2 sessions, you'll understand like what exactly we are going to be doing. But anyhow, from the next coming classes, actually, guys, as I told you, 1 week we'll be having some basic introduction to, which is going to be not basic introduction, a little bit like what we can say that like a brush up classes actually, guys, just like a refreshment classes on the, which is going to be some knowledge of any database system. Let us better to use SQL Server actually, guys. Why we are going to use SQL Server, we know that. So Power BI, I think I didn't discuss about that. Power BI is a product of Microsoft. So SQL Server is also product from Microsoft only. So better we learn SQL Server one part, and then which is going to be Power BI. Even I'll tell you some kind of small examples also actually, guys. Like for example, I have some data in my SQL Server. Now I want to share that data. For example, a CSV file is there, Excel sheet is there, okay, or something like I have a JSON file or something like that. I can share these files very easily. I can just send it to your emails, or you can share it to your drive. I can do it. But whenever I have a data in your database system, how to migrate the data? Why? Because a Power BI developer may require that one also. So migrating some, it's not a, we are not discussing about a completely in depth about that, because I want to share the data actually, guys. I want to share the data, or I want to copy the data from one server to another server. So you have some business data. So you want to migrate all that particular data to some other database. Actually, in real applications, the database developers will take care about that. But a Power BI developer also requires a little bit. Like how do you take the backups of databases? How to restore the databases? Just nothing is there, guys. How do you backup and how do you restore? We'll take the backup from one system and we are going to restore into another system. So if I want to share my data, I'll take a backup file with you. I'll take a backup file. I'll give you the backup file with an extension of .bak. And that particular BAK file, you are going to restore it into your database so that you can get the data like that. So like that, some small database skills are also required, guys. So anyhow, tomorrow we don't have a class, guys. Generally on the first weekend, you don't have a classes. And one more thing is, So tomorrow also we are celebrating one small religious festival, which is Shivaratri tomorrow. So I think some of you know about that. So tomorrow we have a Shivaratri. So we are celebrating it in our Telugu states. So tomorrow anyhow, the first weekend we don't have a classes generally. So from the second week we'll be having the Saturdays classes also. It is a 6 days a week classes actually, guys. So tomorrow you don't have a class anyhow, Saturday and Sunday. So two don't have the classes actually, guys. So your next class will be on the 20th. 18th and 19th you don't have the classes, guys. Some from 20th to the end of that particular week. So you will be learning some part of SQL Server classes. We don't go in depth about them, guys. In depth means main important concept, whatever that is required. I'll just explain that particular skill sets. I will explain it. Okay. So once it is completed from the next week, from the next coming week, that is after that, that means after 27th or 28th, it may be. I think it is first, I think 21st, 28th, 28th, I think so. So it is going to be from the 27th onwards. You are going to be starting with the concepts of Power BI concepts. I'll start with them, guys. Okay. If you're already familiar with that, also just like a refreshment class, because my classes will be different, guys. My classes of SQL Server is different. You may learn it if your expertise well and good. Otherwise, just please attend the classes, even if you do have the idea. A little bit concept of joins, like how to create the tables. Why? Because all those particular skills is required in our Power BI concepts actually, guys. Some kind of a joins concept is going to be required actually, guys. We require some kind of a joins concept is going to be gets required actually. That is what we are going to call it as merge options, what we are going to call it as. Okay. So in the concept of this particular merge queries, we have to require some kind of an concepts what we are going to require it actually, guys. Okay. So can you see these are going to be joins actually, guys. Inner joins, left outer joins, right outer joins. Okay. So what is left anti? What is going to be right anti? We are having some kind of a joins. If I teach you there, no need to discuss much about it here. That's why I'll first explain in the database terminologies, and after that we'll come here and we are going to be applying it actually, guys. Okay. Even append queries also, what are going to be the concatenations and all these things we are going to see with an application actually. Okay. So that's it from the today's class, guys. That's it for the today's class. So we'll meet up on the next session on the Monday, same time and the same link. We'll connect on the Monday's class, guys. Anyone, guys? Any questions? Yes. Yes, Naveen. Right, Naveen.
When the link changes for Monday, because
no. In the case if there is any change, my team will update you. Please, all of you, check your email IDs. Check your emails. Okay. If there is any change, generally it won't changes. In the case if it is any changes, my backend team will inform you about that.
I have one more question.
Yes, yeah, Naveen.
It's a great class today. Can I get yesterday's video actually, because I've missed it yesterday?
Yesterday is a day, same demo only, but my backend team will share you that particular yesterday's recording session. They will share you. Sure. You will get a follow-up mail. You will get a follow-up mail to your email ID. So you can just in the follow-up mail, they will share you that particular demo videos. They will share you the links.
Great.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Right. Yes. Somebody is asking a doubt, some question. Yes, Pushpalata, is there any prerequisite for this course as a fresher? As I told you, it is basic SQL knowledge, some data knowledge. That's it. Understanding the data, how to handle the data. Just if you know how to work with the data, what we'll do with the data, that is sufficient with that. With some knowledge of SQL concept is sufficient. That's it. That is going to be the prerequisites. Okay. Any more questions, guys? Anyone, if you have any questions? So it's very simple, guys, simple to explain. It's not like a programming language, why Java, why Python, or why what is machine learning, what is data science. This is a little bit time-taking process, but data visualization, everybody knows about that, because every day we are going to work with some data visualization. You may see it, you may not develop it, but we know what is an importance of the data visualizations. Okay. That's it for the today's class, guys. So thank you all of you once again, and see you all of you on the Monday's class, same time, same link, guys. In the case if any link changes, my backend team will send you an updated mails, will send it. So please verify your mails just before attending the session, and then please join the class, guys. Right, guys?
Thank you.
Right. So thank you all of you, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you on the Monday's class, guys. Thank you all of you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Hi, good evening, all of you guys. Hope all of you can hear me. Yeah, guys, can I please?
Yes, sir.
Right, right. Thank you, guys. Just a second. Right. So, guys, hope all of you can hear me, right? Yeah, yes, thank you. So, guys, in the last two sessions, we have been taken some introduction part of what is Power BI. I have been got discussed about that. Just I told you, I think so. It is not that much explanation is required. Why? Because everybody knows about that. So what is Power BI and why do you require a Power BI? It's basically a data visualization tool, actually, guys. A GUI-based data visualization tool. What we can do, actually, guys, what we can do, we can connect whatever the data that is there in our text format or a value format, whatever the data was there, you can convert into the visual context. So why? Because I told you about that visually, human brains also can understand the data visually very easily. And even the data that can be interpreted by our human brains is also visually they can process it faster than the values. So that is also one reason there is going to be some kind of a biological reason, like how the human brains will identify the images or pictures better than the whenever we see the data in a normal view. So human brains can faster process that particular the images basically. So visually, the human brains can understand the data easily. That is also one of the reason why the data visualization plays a very important role. So slowly I have been started. Actually, I didn't started with any implementation also. Guys, just one more small question. I think some guys has been joined for the today's class. Today is your first class. Please let me know. Anyone is there who has been joined for the today's class? Yes, Kalyan Kiran Kumar, right?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So that I can just explain, guys. So nothing has been happened. Just it is only two introduction classes we have been got taken. Anyhow, my backend team will going to share you the recordings also. We'll share the recordings of the last two classes. This Thursday and Friday. Saturday we didn't have the session actually due to the Shivaratri. I didn't conducted the session on Saturday, and today is the third session actually, guys. And we have a plan for today. So we are going to start with some database concepts which needs to be everybody has to understand that because without having the concept of databases, the points are going to be gets unconnected in Power BI. So that is the reason everybody has to learn some basic concepts of a databases. Even not only with respect to the Power BI, even in real application when you work on the Power BI or when you're working with the data, some basic concepts are going to be gets required actually. So not too much topics we are going to be going in deep into them. Just a little bit idea like how we are going to be gets working. We are going to be having a look into that actually. Right. So I just started with Power BI. So I told you not to install the Power BI also. Don't install it. In my system, it was already installed. Just to that means just slowly I'm updating the what is going to be the features that are providing. Once again, we'll have a look into all these particular features also in the later applications. So we are learning a skill called as a data visualization, guys. We are not learning anything like Power BI. Don't limit your knowledge. Okay, don't limit your knowledge that I have known Power BI. We are learning a skill called as data visualization skill. So whether you do it by using by Power BI or a Tableau or a QuickView, or whether it is a scripting or any Python libraries, it does not matter. We are learning what is an importance of data visualization, what are the different types of visual skills we have to require, and basically the terminologies. So in data visualization, what are the terminologies that we have to learn it actually? So what is a scatter plot? What is a line plot? You can see it actually, guys. So don't install it. You can install it. It's not a matter. I'll tell you. So whenever we install the Power BI desktop here, don't worry, guys. I'm not working. I'm not starting with anything about the Power BI. So here we can see some kind of an data visualization objects. We can see it actually. So what are these actually? This is a bar chart, a stacked bar chart. This is a column chart. What is a bar chart? What is a column chart? Okay, what is going to be clustered? There is going to be again the same clustered bar chart is there. We are going to be having a clustered column chart is there. 100% stacked bar chart is there. 100% clustered column chart is going to be there. So what is the difference? Line charts, it's an area charts. It is going to be, can you see that stacked area charts, what we can see. This is going to be line and stacked column charts. So this we can see some kind of an options. Okay, we can see something like a tables. We can find it off here now. This is going to be what we are going to call it as a matrix. What is that? What is a pie chart? What is a donut chart? It is going to be. We'll see them actually, guys. So we have to understand the terminologies, like which type of plotting is used for what purpose actually. What kind of a data can be visualized. So every data cannot be visualized with the every type of the visual, every type of the plot or every type of visual. So different datas are going to be visualized in a different what are the different types we are going to be having it actually. We'll see them actually, guys. Okay. So anyhow, just a small 5-10 minutes. I'll just discuss about Power BI. So I told you guys, Power BI is going to be a GUI based. It is completely a GUI based, which is going to be a data visualization tool. It's a completely a GUI based drag and drop. Mostly we are going to use the mouse. So while I'm giving the notes, if you are writing the notes or I'm giving the notes or sharing the notes, so the notes is going to be like this actually, guys. So go to that particular file menu or go to the insert menu. Okay, click on this, click on the add column, select this option, right click on this. This kind of a navigations will be there. We learn only the navigations only. GUI based options are like that only, guys. Scripting based, if you're writing the code, there is going to be something different. We can share the code. Here, nothing will be there. It is only just the navigational part. So how do you get the navigational part? How do you get a practice on that? How do you understand that? How do you remember that? Only by practice. Only by practice. Scripting based is different case actually, guys. Scripting based, even if you don't practice now, after some 10 days or after 1 month, if you open the notes, at least you can understand that particular scripts. But navigational, it is not like that. Day-to-day practice is required. Only practice, guys. No logic is some logic is necessary. Without having any knowledge, without having any logical knowledge, we cannot go for some, but not like a programmatical part. No writing of any programs. A small scripts you may write it actually, but that is not an use scripting or any logics. We don't write. Data visualization itself is converting all the data into a visual format. So everything is going to be done by drag and drop options only, guys. We don't write any code for that. We don't require any much programmatical skills are not going to be required. So I'm just showing you, like in the last class, I shown you, like I connected to one database. I connected to a CSV file. I can connect to some JSON file, or I can connect to one XML file. You can connect to almost all different sources. So connect to the data, whatever the data you want to visualize, import it, and then we have to visualize that particular data. So don't worry, guys, because if anybody may thinks that something has been already started. I'm not starting with Power BI. Power BI will start it in the next week, guys. Next week, we are going to start with the Power BI. Just today, it's only just an idea. I'm just telling you that what features it is going to provide actually. So once again, guys, I'm just connecting some data. So you can see this is going to be when I open the Power BI screen, it is going to be the actual, whatever the page that is going to be gets coming actually. Don't worry about anything. So these are going to be, I'll tell you, you already know what are Excel workbooks, okay, Excel sheets, JSON files. You can also work with some kind of an data, SQL server databases, or we can work with some kind of a blank queries. What are Power BI data sets? So many are there actually, guys. I'll show you some different products are there from Power BI. I'll show you a different products also. I'll show you with that. For the timing, I'm connecting with a small text file or a CSV file. I'm connecting actually, guys. So I'll share you these data sets later. Right now, it is not required. Just it is going to be, because I told you know, being I work on data science and data analysis. So I have a lot of data with me. So it's all public data sets, what we can see that. So this is the data what I have been loaded in the last class. I have been loaded it actually, guys. So just to show you one small feature actually, guys, just to show you one small feature. So uh, okay, so you can see, guys, there is some data has been got loaded. Don't worry about the data set. It is going to be some data which was related to some user cars data set actually. If you want, I'll show you the data. Don't worry. This is the data actually, guys. This is the data. Can you see? It is going to be the data related to some user cars, the cars which has been already used. So what is the year of manufacturing, and what is the model of the car? What is the price of the car? What is the mileage? What is the color of the cars? And what is the transmission, like auto transmission, manual transmission? Colors like yellow, gray, silver, blue, gray, etc., etc. What is the mileage? Mileage is how many miles it was already used. What is the price? You can use the price actually, guys. And there are different types of models are there, like SC models, SEL models. Okay, this is the data. We didn't create it any manually, guys. We imported, we downloaded from some online resources. We have a different types of online resources. So as a data analyst and data scientist, I import the data from different public data sets. We have an, if you want to get any real data sets actually, guys, we have them. We have them actually. If you also want some data sets, I can share you the data sets. Okay. So this is the data what we are having it actually, guys. Okay. Now see, guys, just one of the feature which most of you does not going to tell you about that. I'm revealing it actually, guys. Why? Because if I reveal this feature, the first doubt that comes to your mind is, then sir, why I have to learn business? Why I have to learn Power BI? First of all, why I have to learn Power BI? Why? Because it is, everything is going to be nowadays. You have got, you know the concept. AI has been came into the picture. Driverless car was there. So one of example I can tell you, driverless cars. So the companies like Tesla or some other company, even they have been developed a driverless car. You know what is a driverless cars actually? Without having any human, without knowing anything about driving also, we can drive, we can just go in the car. It's an automatic, it's an automatic driver, it is going to be there. Even if it is an automated or even it's a driverless car also, sometimes there must be some human, has to interact with that actually, because there is no guarantee that 100% it is going to be 100% it is accurate. So it is going to cost the life of a person actually. It is not a cost of a money, it is the life of a person actually. So if anything goes wrong, it may be either the person in the car is going to be gets die, or there may be human on the road, or it may be some other person on the road, he may be dying. So even if it is AI is 100%, AI is 100%, even it was implemented also, still there must be some human interaction must be there. But he need not to be an expertise in that. He need not to be an expertise in that. Okay, and nowadays, even you have seen one of the success story we are talking about that, yeah, Chat GPT. So hope you all of you guys has been started using the Chat GPT. So Chat GPT is one of the success story of AI. It's a language model. Just like human interaction can be gets done actually. So even sometimes I also uses I'm also going to use as a Chat GPT. I moved from Google search to Chat GPT, guys. If anything I want to explain you, I'll always go to Chat GPT to explain you the application. Previously I used to use Google search. So whenever I want to explain any topic, I'll used to go to the Google search and do it actually. But now I'm going for the Chat GPT. So Chat GPT you can start using, guys. Everybody, just with a, nothing is required. Just log into the Chat GPT with your Gmail account and you can start chatting. You know, you can just start chatting with that particular Chat GPT. It is a completely an AI powered language model. It can understand the human language. It can understand the human language. Even in the Power BI also, guys, it is going to be there is an AI is there. So many people does not reveals that. Why? Because this, if I reveal that AI is supported, you obviously you get something in your mind is, then why a particular company requires a BI developers? BI developers, we have a lot of requirements. Okay, I'll show you that. Just nothing is there, guys. So just example, you don't know anything about how to develop a chart. I imported a data set called as an usercars.csv file. Just an example. For this particular model, I just want to know how many cars are there in each and every model. I want to know about that. So SC model, how many cars are there? SEL model, how many cars are there? And SES model, how many cars are there? So for each model of the car, how many cars are there? I want to develop a report. So see, guys, previously I have been selected one visual from here and then I plotted it. Now I'm not doing anything actually, guys. I'm not doing anything about I'm not doing anything here actually, guys. Okay, so don't worry about that. I just double clicked here actually, guys. I just double clicked. Okay, I just double clicked here actually, guys. This is canvas. I'll talk about the technology later. I just double clicked on the canvas. So see, there is going to be some kind of a question and answers are going to be gets coming actually, guys. Previously, we type in Google search. We know that, no, guys, we already type something. Otherwise, I'll do one thing. I'll open a new page. I'll open a new page actually, guys. Can you see? So in Google search, whenever we want to type a question, already there are previously typed questions will be coming. So simply you can see that this is going to be what we can say that. So whatever the plot you require, see, it's a purely language models actually, guys. Even Microsoft also has been came up with a language model as a competitor with the ChatGPT. But I think you have seen some news about the Microsoft ChatGPT. So it is scolding the users. It is scolding the users actually, guys. So recently we have seen some kind of a news related to that. So it is also language model. Nowadays, Microsoft also will implement all the language models into their applications actually. So see, ask a question about your data. I want to develop, for example, I want to develop a bar chart. Okay. So simply it is going to be, I said, which is going to be cars, which is going to be model count with a bar chart. Just an example. Observe carefully, guys. I didn't return anything actually, guys. Simply cars model count with a bar chart actually. Okay. So, or I can say cars model wise. Just only thing is it cannot understand the language, but it can do it actually, guys. Or we can see which is going to be cars model or model wise, what is going to be the cars, which is going to be bar plot, whatever it may be. Just it may not be 100% accurate. It is developing a report, but later we'll see that application actually. So see, I didn't done anything actually, guys. I didn't done anything actually. Automatically a bar chart has been got created actually. One bar chart has been created. Don't worry about that. It is going to be something it has been got done. You can just you can make some modifications. We can do it actually. So you can just, that means without doing any manual work, actually, guys, I have been plotted this particular data actually. So total price and total mileage, it is giving some suggestions actually. See, it is an AI based application actually, guys. It is going to be a based application. What we can see that how many models of cars are there? There are 3 models of cars are there actually, guys. There are 3 models of cars are there. What are those particular 3 models of cars? We have seen now. SE, SEL and SES models, what we can see that. I'm not using any of the option actually, guys. Just double click on that and automatically we are going to be getting some options. Using that, we can work with this kind of an applications actually. So it is going to be some user car sorted by the price. Automatically, the data is going to be gets coming actually. I didn't return any code at all. Automatically, according to the price, the data was automatically got sorted actually. So see, so this is going to be an AI powered business intelligence application actually. So these are the features. So obviously we'll get it out. Sir, in the case if everything is done by itself only, then what is our role actually? It cannot develop 100% accurately as much the clients requires. There must be some kind of an human. Actually, the human has to interact with that. Unless and until it does not becomes. But it is a simple, which is going to be a simple way to develop this kind of a reports actually. That is what the main the features which nowadays almost all data visualization tools are providing actually. AI was integrated, itself will develop the reports. But whenever it is a complicated one, the AI also can't generate it actually. Then human interaction is going to be required actually, guys. Okay. So just I'm telling about some of the features. So don't worry about all those things. Okay. Just let me show you once. Even I maybe have been developed some kind of an reports. So which we can see. Just double click on this canvas. Nothing feature is required. Nothing feature is going to be required. You can ask what is going to be a scatter plot with which is going to be price comma mileage. That's it. Automatically it is going to develop it actually. It is developing it actually, guys. That's it. But it has been developed by calculating the sum. I have to make a small changes. Just nothing is there. I have to just make some small changes. Once if we make the changes, automatically it is going to becomes this. Even I didn't done any drag and drop option also. In last class, same example, if I want to do it manually, I can do it manually also. So take a scatter plot here now. There is a scatter plot. So drag and drop it here. And I have to, I told you, which is going to be drag and drop the price in the x-axis and price drag and drop the mileage on the y-axis. You want to drag and drop the y-axis actually. And remove the aggregation. Don't summarize it. Then it is going to be the report like this. Same report, same application as it is. Manually, I have drag and drop. Here it is done by the AI powered. So like that, anybody, it's a very simple, very easy. I'll tell you the definition of what is Power BI also. What Microsoft says. What Microsoft says actually. So according to the Microsoft, what is Power BI actually, guys? According to the Microsoft, Power BI is going to be nothing but, I'm just writing the same definition. You can find it in the Power BI website also, we can find it off. So Power BI is which is going to be, according to Microsoft, I'm talking about. What is the definition of Power BI? What is Power BI if I talk about that? No need to buy heart anything, guys. So what is Power BI? Let us say that. Okay. So according to the Microsoft, so Power BI is going to be nothing but what we can say that Power BI is a unified, and which is going to be a scalable. The term scalable. So something, what is meaning of, first of all, what is the terminology called as an scalable? Unified means, you know that actually, guys. Unified means it is going to be some collection of features actually. So a lot of features are there. You can develop the reports. We can share the reports. It is an unified solution, they say that. Then what is scalable actually? Scalable means nothing but as the data increases, as for example, as the data increases, according to that, you can also increases your resources. That's why we call it as a scalable solution. That means it is going to fit for a small application as well as a medium application, or which is going to be a huge applications also we can work. So data is a small data, or a data is a medium size, or a data is a large size. According to that, it is scalable. It is a scalable platform, or what we can say that it is a scalable platform for which is going to be a self-service. Self-service means which is for our individual usage, or it can be either for an enterprise usage. Power BI is a unified or a scalable platform for self-service, the self-service, and enterprise, which is going to be the business intelligence. This is going to be what the, according to the Microsoft, it is going to be. If you want, you can find the definition. Maybe some words may be different. I'm just telling in a different way. It may be a platform or a solution. It may be uses. And it also says that what we can do it actually, guys. Connect to, almost all the same definition. Connect to. You can connect to any kind of a data. You can connect to any kind of a data. You can work with a text files. You can work with database, JSON files, XML files, almost all any type of sources. Connect to, and you can also visualize any data. You can connect and you can visualize any data. And not only you can visualize the data actually, guys, and you can seamlessly, without having any effort. You know what is meaning of a seamlessly? Seamlessly means without any effect, without having much effort. What we can do is seamlessly it is going to be infuse. Infuse means we can integrate them, whatever the integrate that particular visuals into the apps you use in your daily life or you use daily. you use in our daily life actually. So every day, whatever you are using the apps, almost all in any apps, we can integrate with that actually. Infuse that particular visuals into the apps which you are going to use, which you apps use daily, right? You use daily actually. This is the definition of Power BI. I'll show you. If you just want to go to the Power BI, you can ask the Microsoft, what is Power BI? So just go for Power BI actually, guys. Microsoft Power BI. Microsoft Power BI. I'll tell you, don't download it actually. I downloaded this one only, guys. Microsoft Power BI desktop. I'll tell you what are the other things we have to download. So see here, what is Power BI actually, guys? So if you can see that, as I told you, a Power BI is a unified and a scalable platform for self-service and enterprise business intelligence. Connect to and visualize any data and seamlessly infuse the visuals into the apps you use every day. That's it. So that is what the definition is also going to be, use every day or daily, whatever you can say that. I said every day, daily, I said every day. That's it. So why it is a unified platform? Because it is giving all the tools that are going to be required. You can design the reports, you can share the reports, you can deploy the reports. It's a unified solution and scalable platform. So it works with any kind of an data, small data, medium size, large size, anything it can works. You can use it for self-service. That means for your own purpose also we can use, or either to share with the enterprise business intelligence also what we can use. You can connect and visualize any data. And not only that, those visuals can be easily integrated, or you can infuse those particular visuals into the apps you are going to use every day. That is what the definition of Power BI. But anyhow, before going for Power BI, so today we are going to be discussing about how to work with, which is going to be, because a database knowledge is required actually, guys. So if you guys are anybody, some of the people are already having the idea, guys. But once again, for 1 week, guys, not more than that, just for a 1 week, we are going to be gets working with them actually. Okay. So that is going to be, we are going to be gets working with the SQL Server database. Why specifically SQL Server also? You are aware about that, because Power BI is a Microsoft product, guys. That's why we are also going to be using a Microsoft database, a Microsoft supported database. So don't try to think more about the database, guys. Don't think more about the database. If you have any problem, nowadays database is a common skill actually, guys. Everybody has to know at least the basic knowledge of SQL. It's a common to everybody. Whether you are a computer science, whether you are in whether you're non-computer science, everybody, because nowadays anywhere you go, compulsory there is a database. Do you want to learn Java? Yes, some part of SQL is required. It's not that completely without doing that you cannot survive it. You can survive it. At least some basic knowledge is required. So do you want to work with .NET, or do you want to work with Java, or you want to work with any kind of an application? Some minimum knowledge of some database system is required actually, guys. Okay. So anyhow, there are so many databases are there, which are specifically what we call it as relational databases. So just to get some idea, because it is all about data only, guys. So whenever it is all about the data, at least some basic knowledge of SQL, some basics is required. If you want to really learn SQL completely, at least it is going to take somewhere around 2 months. It will take it somewhere around 2 months, because there will completely teach or train a complete database management. But here it is not that much required. Hardly maybe 1 week. I'm not saying that exactly 1 week. It may be somewhere around 1 week to maybe somewhere 8 days, 9 days, or 7 days. Hardly it is going to be taken. Not more than that actually. So we'll spend some time, guys, who are already having the idea about SQL Server. Please, just like a refreshment for you. Okay. So don't think that it is like a boring classes, and don't think that this is a SQL Server class actually, guys. It's a Power BI session actually. Just before starting with the Power BI, some basic knowledge of. Later also I can teach you. Immediately it is not required actually, because mainly whenever we work with the Power BI, we are having something called as, which is going to be some kind of a model is there actually, guys. In this model, we are going to create some kind of a relationships. We are going to create it actually. We have to create some kind of a relationships, and already I told you also. Some of the terminologies are going to be which we use as part of our database terminologies. Don't worry about that. I'll tell you what is this Power Query. Even once again, just for a small timing to make you understand that. We have an option called as something called as merge queries are there actually, guys. We are having something called as merge queries actually. So while we are doing this merge queries, we are going to be having something called as, we are going to be using something what we are going to call it as, can you see? There is some kind of an joins concept is there. Left outer join, right outer join, full outer join, what is inner joins? Okay. These are all part of your database concepts only, guys. Nowadays, this has been came outside the database. Now they are using everywhere, even in SQL and non-SQL also they are using it. It's one of the common feature actually, guys. It's a generalized common concept. We have to learn it actually. I need not to explain only in terms of a database. Even by taking two Excel sheets also I can explain it. Or by taking two flat files also I can explain it. But it is in database knowledge, it is very easy to understand because it has been derived from database concepts only. That is the reason we are going to be learning a little bit about the concepts of SQL actually, guys. Okay. Anyhow, I'll share you the software. You don't really worry to work on that application also. Later we can see, later you can work with that particular data sets later. I can share you the software and all these things later actually. Okay. Now, just let me introduce something about the SQL Server, guys. Just a small example. So just a small point of discussions we want to discuss it actually. So these are all what we are going to call it as a DBMS actually, guys. DBMS stands for, which is going to be nothing but a database management system. So DBMS is going to be nothing but a subject, or we can say it is a concept which deals with management of data. It's a database management system. We're not starting from scratch actually, guys. Like what is data, what is information, why should I store it? I'm not starting from that particular basic level actually, guys. Directly I'm starting with DBMS, a database management system actually, guys. What is a database management system? A database management system is nothing but, guys, a subject or a concept which deals with management of data. So it is nothing but management of data. Simply, we can also call it as data management. What do you mean to say data management actually, guys? The skills that are required to store the data. Today, why you are storing the data actually, guys? Tomorrow, we are going to use the data. For what purpose we are going to use it? I may read the data. I may add some data. I may modify some data, or I may say some deleting of the data. All these are going to be comes under something what we are going to call it as the management of data. So whenever you have some data with you, how do you add some new data? How do you go for modification? How do you delete them, or how do you read this data? All these are going to be comes under management of the data actually. They are called as management of data actually. So this is what basically a subject or a concept which is going to deals with management of a data actually. So to perform this DBMS, obviously we have to require a database system, guys. What is a database? A database is a software where we can do all these database management. All this is going to be, all this management of data can be done in a database. A database is a software actually, guys. A database is a software. Don't think that it is used to store the data, guys. So many people says that database is just to a storage. No, you are not only just storing the data actually, guys. A software or a system, you can say that actually. A system which is used to manage the data actually, guys. Managing means I told you, no, you can store it, you can read it, you can add it, you can modify, you can delete all these things. We can do it actually. Now the main concept is, what is meaning of a relational database? Very simple actually, guys. It's a relational database. What do you mean to say relational databases actually, guys? Relational databases, or simply we call it as an RDBMS, Relational Database Management System. A relational database is a database actually, guys. It's also a database only. Database, but which stores the data Simple, guys. Which stores the data in the format of tables. Which stores the data in the format of tables. So relational database is also a database. What is database? A database is a software or a system which is used to manage the data. Then what is a relational database? A database which stores the data in the format of tables. In the format of tables is nothing but what we are going to call it as a relational database. We all of you know what is a table meant to say, guys. A table is nothing but which is going to store the data in the format of rows and columns. Just now we have seen a table called as a cars. What is the year of the manufacturing? What is the model it belongs to? What is the price? What is the mileage, etc., etc. Columns and rows. 2011 model is going to be SE 3800, mileage 7852. 2012 a model called as an SEL, which is 21,995. Mileage is going to be 6,840 something, whatever it may be, guys. Like this, you can store any data, guys. Customers data, students data, products data, employees data, anything you can store it actually. So it's not only for storing. Today you store the data. Tomorrow you can add up some new data. We can modify, you can delete, anything you can do it actually, guys. Okay. So a relational database is nothing but the databases which stores the data in the format of tables are called as RDBMS. Now, the examples of RDBMS actually, guys, so many are there, but I'm telling some few databases like. So one of the most popular database is Oracle from Oracle Corporation. And from Microsoft, we are having a database called as an SQL Server. They are developed by different companies, guys. SQL Server was developed by Microsoft. Oracle is developed by the Oracle Corporation. We have a MySQL database is there. We are having a database called as an DB2 developed by IBM. MySQL is an open source database actually, guys. It is maintained by a community. It is not developed by a company, but it is developed by some community actually, guys. Nowadays, SQL came into almost every area actually, guys. Almost every area SQL has been came actually. Later we'll work on that. So Oracle, SQL Server, MySQL, DB2, if we talk about, so many databases are there. So we are going to use this a SQL Server database actually, guys. Now, okay, fine. There is a relational database, but how do you read the data? How do you add the data? How do you modify them? How do you delete the data? For that, a simple technique actually, guys. Look at this concept, guys. So this is the generally the diagrammatical representation of any RDBMS. It may be an Oracle, it may be a SQL Server, it may be a MySQL, it may be a DB2, whatever may be the database, guys, whatever the relational database is there. So whenever you want to manage the data, how do you manage the data? So I want to add some data, guys. How to add the data to a database, or how to modify the data, how to delete the data. So for that, there is some language is required actually, guys. So whenever the user want to interact with any relational database, we require a language called as SQL. SQL and SQL Server is different actually, guys. Please try to differentiate it. SQL Server or a SQL Server is a relational database which is used to store the data in the format of tables. What is SQL stands for? SQL stands for which is going to be a structured query language. So even I was an expert in SQL also actually, guys. SQL, PL SQL, T-SQL, whatever we call it as actually. But I don't go in depth about them. I was also an expert in SQL also. I can write some complicated queries and database concepts. Even if we have any database queries also, you can ask me. I can explain it. It is SQL stands for structured query language. It's a language actually, guys. Who developed this language? It was developed by the IBM Corporation, guys. Remember, SQL is developed by IBM. And IBM does not say that you can use the SQL. So what is SQL actually, guys? A structured query language, which is acting as an interface between the user and any relational database. User and any relational database. So Whenever the user wants to connect to any relational database and whenever they want any management of the data, they should be using a language called as an SQL. So don't confuse between SQL and SQL Server. SQL is a language which is used to manage the data in any relational database. The advantage is one advantage, guys. Using SQL, I not only work with SQL Server, even you can work with Oracle, you can work with MySQL, you can work with DB2, or you can work with Teradata, you can work with any relational database we can work. Almost all you work with any kind of a relational database, they are going to be using the same SQL language. So once if you learn SQL in your life for one time, once if you learn SQL for once in your life, one time it is you have to learn it actually. You can manage any relational databases. Let us say that today your company is using a SQL Server database. Just an example. Currently your company is using a SQL Server database. After you have been worked on 2 years and 3 years, then your company said that let us migrate the SQL Server to immediately to Oracle. Don't worry. You need not to worry about the database. Why? Because whether you work with the SQL Server, whether you work with Oracle, or whether you work with some other database, finally the language is going to be SQL. Finally, the language is going to be SQL, guys. I'll show you. I have multiple databases in my system. I have 3 databases in my system. I will have Oracle in my system. I have a SQL Server in my system, as well as I'm also having MySQL in my system. All the 3 relational databases will be there. You can work with any kind of a database, because for any relational database, the language is going to be SQL, is a common language. So SQL was developed by IBM. SQL was developed by IBM, and it is not saying that only IBM databases can use. Any relational database, whether you work with Oracle developed Oracle database, or Microsoft developed a SQL Server, or an open source database called as an MySQL, or whether you want to use IBM database called as a DB2 or any database. Finally, the language is SQL. So SQL must be a common language, guys. For any relational database, you can work. So here also, guys, while you are learning some databases, you are not learning Oracle, you are not learning SQL Server, you are learning SQL. Stands for Structured Query Language. And I think you know that generally we are going to spell it as SQL. So this is going to be the name SQL actually, guys. Actually, initially there is some small history is there. Initially the name was Structured English Query Language. So guys, once again, I'm telling guys, it is not an SQL class. It is just a basics of SQL only. We are going to learn it actually, guys. You will find out, guys, how important it is going to be there. Without learning SQL, if you go, you will automatically, some points are going to be unconnected. Some points are going to be unconnected. You will have some doubts. But here, once if you clarify that and go there, then everything you can handle it actually. Structured English Query Language actually, guys. We call it as a Structured English Query Language, SEQUENL. Okay. So why the name Structured English Query Language? An English language, just very simple, guys. What is SQL, guys? English language arranged in a structured manner. So in a proper English structure actually, guys. English structure. So an English language arranged in a structured manner for query processing is nothing but what we can call it as SQL. What is the basic requirements of SQL actually, guys? To learn SQL, what is the basic requirements? Only and only English is sufficient. You don't require any knowledge of any other programming languages. No programming language is required actually, guys. No programming languages. If you have some C programming, a little bit idea like why, what is meaning of a function, to understand that, that is going to be required. Otherwise, it is not at all required at all. So the only prerequisite I say that to learn SQL is going to be English language. Okay. So anyhow, just let me tell you some few points. One of the first point is going to be, guys, it is going to be a non-procedural language. It is a non-procedural language actually, guys. So I know that, guys, what is an importance of SQL? Still now, Even some MNC, even some companies. I generally go to these corporate trainings actually, because recently I done a training in Deloitte. So there for 3 days, we have taught the SQL concepts actually, guys. DBMS and SQL concept for 3 days. Actually, the main training is for data engineering. It's an including Power BI, even Spark and big data systems, and we have Python and we have the SQL. So these are all total the whatever the basic fundamentals they have to be learning actually. I given a training for 12 days in Deloitte recently. So where we have been taught the SQL concepts for 3 days. 3 days means it is not for 1 hour per day actually, guys. It is from morning 9 o'clock to evening, which is going to be 6 or 6. Sometimes even it is up to 6:30 also. That means almost all 8 hours a day for 3 days, almost all for mostly for almost all 3 days we have been taken the particular training actually. That means which is almost all somewhere around some 24 hours of training we have been given for them. See the importance. They didn't say that SQL they will learn by themselves actually. The importance is there actually. Why? Because in Spark they will use as the SQL actually. Spark SQL is there. They are part of data engineering, data analytics. I have been given the training. Almost all 1.5 day for Power BI training. 1.5 hour means 12 hours training it was there. Like that. Big data systems like Hadoop, Hive, etc. That is for another 2 days. Spark is for 3 days. Like that, we have been given some 12 days of training we have been given for that actually. So there each and every basic concepts also we have to teach it actually. So corporate level, imagine how much there are expectation is there. If you want, I'll show you the training. Still the module is accessible to me. Still that particular module is accessible to me. Still they didn't remove the access. Recently only I have been got covered. Recently only I have been got done it actually. So it is going to be Deloitte AI Academy. Currently I have to log in. Maybe they removed the permission for me. Maybe because training is completed. I don't know. I have to use some username and password when I have to connect it. It's a Deloitte AI Academy actually. Recently I have been worked and I have been taken the training. The schedule and all these things is there. I'll just show you like how important the SQL concept is there. Yes, it is a non-procedural language actually, guys. What do you mean to say non-procedural language? What do you mean to say non-procedural language? You know that in real applications, programming languages are of two types, procedural and non-procedural. Procedural and non-procedural. Example of procedural language is C language. The best example of procedural language is C language. We know that. How do you write it actually, guys? How do you write it actually? So we write a main program. After that, we have to write some already declarations, like a small procedure. So there is some kind of a procedure will be there. We have to follow the procedure. But here, the procedure is going to be not required actually, guys. You don't really require any such kind of a procedures. Everything is going to be only done in a single statement only. We have to work with them. It is a single statement actually, guys. Nowadays, these kind of a non-procedural languages or scripting languages are becoming popular. Even Python is also like a scripting language, guys. We don't write any Python program with a main method. We don't have any main method. C, C++, Java, .NET, those will write it with the main methods. Here, everything is a single statement. It's a scripting languages. Only with a single line statement only we do it actually. There is no starting point. There is no entry point. We don't have it actually, guys. It is a non-procedural language. So SQL is a non-procedural language. You need not to write any program, just a statement to read the data, a single statement to write the data, a single statement to modify the data. Just only syntaxes will be there. Just you have to by heart the syntax. Don't by heart it. You have to practice the syntaxes. I'll tell you like SQL categorization is there. We don't go into all the categorizations. I'll just tell you like what topics we have it. If you want to explore, you can explore the other things what we have to explore it actually. I'll tell you some few points, some few or 4 or 5 different points. I'll explain you. Remaining, you can explore them and you can try with them. I'll tell you the resources also from where you have to learn it actually. So SQL is a purely a non-procedural language, guys, where we'll write only and only single statement at a time. We are going to write it actually. Okay. And one more thing, it's not a case sensitive language. It is not a case sensitive language actually, guys. So while you are writing the C programs, C++, Java, one of the main problem we used to face it actually. They are case sensitive. That means if they define capital case, you have to write capital case. If they define lowercase, you have to write lowercase. Even Python is also a case sensitive language. But here it is not like that. You can write SQL with any case, you can write it. No, there is nothing dependency on the case. Whether you write uppercase, lowercase, mixed case, any case you write it, the queries will execute, guys. Just I'm telling some of the properties. A non-procedural language, only single statement at a time we are going to write it. And it is not a case sensitive language actually. That is some properties of SQL. So once again, SQL is a language which was developed by IBM Corporation, which is used to manage any relational database. Any relational database. Do you want to manage Oracle? Use SQL. Do you want to manage SQL Server? Use SQL. Do you want to manage MySQL? Use SQL. Do you want to manage DB2? Use SQL. Not only that, even there are so many other applications also using SQL actually. Spark is using SQL. Hive is using SQL. Okay, Hive is a Hive uses some kind of an Hive query language. You don't want to we don't want to discuss with me, guys. That we don't want to discuss that related to that. Hive is nothing but a big data framework actually, where we are going to query the data from big data systems by using Hive query language, which we call it as HQL. They will call it as. It is an out of a discussion, right? So these are the some of the properties of SQL, guys. But anyhow, I am going to work with the SQL Server database. We are going to work with the SQL Server database, what we are going to be using. Yes, Rahul, nothing difference is there. MySQL was developed by, it is maintained by the community. It is an open source. It's not SQL, it is SQL Server. Okay, SQL Server is a Microsoft. Oracle is an Oracle database. So different companies developed it actually. Okay, but finally, all of them are going to be uses the same language called as an SQL. If you want, we can work with that. Slightly, their architectural wise, there may be different. Architectural wise, there may be different. But finally, all of them, once you know SQL Server, once if you learn SQL Server with the same knowledge, we can also handle the Oracle database. Okay. So if you want, just I'll show you later. Right now, it is not required. But my system, I'm having Oracle with me. I'm having MySQL with me. Almost all, I have all kinds of databases. So if you want to work with MySQL, I'll work with the MySQL database. There is a MongoDB database. It's a NoSQL database. Even I'm having Oracle database is there. Right now, SQL Server was not there in my system, guys. Why SQL Server is not there? Why? Because I uninstall it. Why? Because I want to show you the installation of Microsoft SQL Server. That is the reason why I have been uninstalled it. It was there, but I uninstalled it because I want to show the installation procedure with you for your training purpose. I'll show you with that. I'll make you install it actually, guys. A very lightweight version only will install it actually. Next class, I'll do the installation, guys. Anyhow, I'll share you the software also, but anyhow, let me tell you, we are going to install the latest version of the SQL Server, guys, which is going to be SQL Server, Microsoft SQL Server 2022. This is the version what we are going to be installing, guys. There are so many versions are there. Generally, databases are heavily loaded actually. So they will take a lot of resources from your system. That's why we'll use a very lightweight version actually, guys. They are called as Express editions, what we are going to call it as. They are called as Express edition, a very lightweighted actually, guys, a very lightweight. They don't provide you like an enterprise level features. We are only for learning procedure, no? So we'll use a very lightweight version, which is going to be what I'm going to call it as Express edition. Okay. So don't try to download anything, guys. Don't try to download anything. I'll share the software. Okay. Power BI software, you can download it, guys. I just shown you now Power BI software, but don't download it now. I'll show you that application. There are different products are there. Power BI desktop, you have to download this actually, guys. Okay, but as of now, don't download anything. Okay, I am going to be using, which is going to be Microsoft, which is going to be SQL Server. Microsoft SQL Server 2022. It is an Express edition. We have to download it. Okay. Anyhow, don't download any softwares, guys, because maybe you guys may not be aware about what you are downloading. That's why what I am going to do is I'll share the software from my side. You can just download that particular software. I have already uploaded to the drive, my Google Drive. I'll share you the link. You can just download it actually, guys. So you can see there, try SQL Server on premises or on the cloud. SQL Server on Azure is a cloud based actually. Do you want to install on your premises? It is SQL Server 2022. So don't download it actually, guys. We have a developer edition is there. We have an express edition is there. Download the express. I'm not asking to download. If you are aware about that, download it, guys. Otherwise, don't worry. I'll share you the link. I'll share you the software with you from my Google Drive and you can download it actually. It is a full featured actually. But this is going to be a little bit what we can say that heavily loaded actually. That's why what we do is SQL Server 2022 Express is a free edition of SQL Server, ideal for development and production for desktop, web, and small server application. Very lightweighted actually. If you want to go for a little bit real applications, if you want to go for, then you can go for a developer editions. Basically for non-production environments. But for production environments, we are going to use enterprise editions and all these things we use this. So don't go for, they are heavily loaded. If you are interested, you can download. If you are aware about that, download it actually, guys. It is for 2022, the latest version of SQL Server. Okay. So this is going to be about this self. So don't download anything, guys. Okay. So you can see SQL Server. So these are the previous versions, what we have it actually, guys. SQL Server 2022, SQL Server 2019, SQL Server BI version is also there, guys. Specifically for BI, this is a separate version is going to be there actually. Okay. So can you see? These are all Power BI report servers, all these things we are going to be having it actually. So download the 2022. Even if you don't download it also, don't worry. Why? Because I am going to share you the software. So I'll share you that particular software already uploaded to my drive. So only thing is I have to just share it actually, guys. This is my Power BI software, my drive. I'll share you the link. Already I have uploaded. Just only thing is I have to just share the link with you. So once if you share it, you can download it. In the next class, I'll show you the installation procedure, guys. Okay, there are some softwares are required. I'll tell you what are the softwares you have to install it. Two softwares are required to work with SQL Server. One is SQL Server Database Server. One is going to be a management tools actually, guys. What is the management studio? I'll tell you that SQL Server Management Studio. So with these two tools, we'll install it and we'll connect to the SQL Server and we'll work for almost all 1 week, guys. 1 week we'll work on that and then we'll move to the Power BI concepts. Okay. So that's it for the today's class, guys. Hope all of you have been got some points what I'm talking about that. If you have any questions, guys, I can spare some around 5-10 minutes of time if you have any questions. Anyone, guys, if you have any questions? Anyone, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to discuss with me, guys.
Sir, I have one question.
Yes, Sumit. Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, how long the course will take?
45 days. 45 to 50 days it will take it.
Okay, it's Monday because I have joined today only. It's
okay.
Monday to Friday, right?
Monday to Saturday. Monday to Saturday. Because anyhow, we are losing 1 week for this SQL Server, right? So almost all it is going to be 40 to 45 days is sufficient. Not beyond that, not more than that.
Okay. So with this course, we should be able to apply for what kind of profiles in company?
Actually, if you are expertise only in Power BI, you can apply only for Power BI developer.
Power BI developer, not Power as a data engineer or something.
Oh no, data engineer is not Power BI, no. So in data engineering, Power BI is going to be one of the skill you require. Okay. Along with that, you have to learn ETLs. That is other things also we have to learn. In data science or data analyst or data engineering, Power BI is going to be one of the common skill that is going to be required. It's one of the skill what you require. Okay. If you explore more about a data visualization, you have a data visualization expert skills are there. Some kind of a jobs called as in data visualization skills. So it's not only with working with Power BI, you have to be knowing about the other frameworks and all these things also we have to require it actually.
Okay. Second question I want to know. See, usually this is my office timing. So I can watch it on my phone and then go and
yes,
you will be sharing the videos.
Videos right? Also will be there. Yes, absolutely. Every day to day videos will be there. You can just go through the videos, but must and should for the next class, the previous class is important.
Okay.
It's not
No,
scripting
I'll
based.
be I'll be watching on my phone, but
Okay.
once I go home, I can rewatch
fine.
it, and you'll be sharing the videos same day, right?
Yeah, same day, maximum same day it will be done, or maybe in the next day morning. Why? Because it is already 6 o'clock, right? 6 to 7 is the class timing. That too, what will happen here is the video will be processed by the Zoom, and we have to get the video because it is on the cloud actually. So it may take sometimes 1 hour, 2 hours, depending on the server busy. So if it is sometimes, if it is late, next day morning, it will be loaded, or maximum by the end of the day, it will be loaded actually. Okay, fine.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes. Yeah, Naveen.
How far it is useful for a business analyst role?
Can you repeat it? How far?
It is useful for a business analyst role. I heard it really plays a good.
Obviously, see, what is business analyst, what is data analyst? They have to analyze the data in a format of visual format only. So it's a visual skill is required. Nowadays, it's not business analyst. Everybody, data analyst, business analyst, data science people, even actually for a data engineering people, it is not required. Basically, data engineering people, it's not required. But still, they have to have some basic visualization skills that is going to be required. Mostly is, obviously. Basically, who is going to be more, it's going to be using is, this is going to be the business analyst requires, data analyst require, data science people require, report developers, obviously report developers are obviously requires about that.
Yeah. And one more silly question. I already have a SQL server in my laptop.
If you have it, you can work with it. No worries.
I got an update also, so I don't need to uninstall it, right?
No need to uninstall it. If it is, see guys, if anybody is already having SQL Server, you can please use that particular version. So no need to no need to uninstall it actually. I think you are using 2019 maybe, right? I mean, 2019 or it does not matter. 2019, 2022 does not matter. I'm using a latest version only. So it's fine. Even 2019 is also fine. You can go ahead.
Sure.
Okay, fine. Right.
Yeah, Vamsi, I want to ask one more question.
Yeah, Sumit, go ahead.
See, what is the point? Like, why should we choose Power BI over Tableau? And see, one reason what I felt was Tableau was a little expensive. Okay?
That's it. That's it.
Okay.
And one more thing is,
the
go ahead.
Cost of training, which I found was expensive. So that was the reason I chose Power BI. But what do you think from industry point of view?
It's not the cost of training. Why? Because see, this is going to be as an maybe I don't know. So actually, the cost compare with the other training institute. So this is going to be little bit lower cost. Why? Because this Power BI can be explained by anybody. So unless and until they have much skills, they can't train that particular Tableau. Power BI is not like that. Today you have been seen that without having any knowledge also we are. It's a very easy whenever we work with the Power BI. So we have a lot of people chosen Power BI. Less people are going to be chosen for Tableau. So don't compare with the cost of the training, but cost of the product at the same time, cost of the product is also going to be compared with this. It is going to be higher cost actually. So enterprises at multinational companies may use as a Tableau, but medium segment and the lower segment, those companies are going to be using the Power BI. Okay. Fine.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Right. Any more questions, guys? We have.
Sir, is there any difference between Power BI or advanced Power BI? Is it?
No advanced Power BI. So everything we are going to be learning about the higher level. So maybe at an architect level, you may be the advanced Power BI, but mostly here as a Power BI developer. So designing of reports, or that is what we call the report authoring, which is going to be deployment, as well as which is going to be the report sharings. Everything we are going to be gets working as part of that. Maybe some people call that as an advanced Power BI, but that is included as part of our course curriculum.
Okay, and DAX query is also included.
Yes, DAX is obviously. Actually, see, I'll tell you one thing. They will see if you. I've seen them. I have seen so many trainings. First, they will say that DAX is very important. DAX is very important. DAX is very important. I was expert in DAX. Finally, after completing of DAX, what they will tell you to don't use DAX unnecessary. That is a statement what they will say it actually. So DAXes there is nothing. They will highlight it actually. That's it. Nothing complication is there. DAX is going to be one part of your whatever that particular Power BI, what it is providing actually. It's just like a functions only, a little bit advanced level function. That's it. That's what I can say.
No, there are so many keywords on the online.
Yes,
So
yes,
like
yes,
advanced
yes.
DAX or DAX, like
they'll call it as advanced DAX function. They will call it as actually. So all functions, whatever the functions we have in the DAX, we'll learn all the things.
Thank you.
Okay, fine.
Thank you.
Right. Any more questions, guys? Right. So thank you all of you guys. See you tomorrow at the same time and the same link, guys. So tomorrow, just 15 minutes introduction that we'll do the installation procedure. But once again, guys, if you already have the SQL Server, don't uninstall it. So leave it as it is, and you can work with the existing SQL Server.
Thank you.
Yes, Naveen. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Yeah. Fine. Okay. Thank you all of you guys, and see you tomorrow, guys. Thank you all of you.
Thank you.
Yep. Hi. Good evening, all of you guys. Hope all of you can hear me. Yeah, guys. Can you please confirm? Is I'm audible?
Yes, sir.
Right. Right, guys. So, guys. So let's continue from the last session, guys. So I think some guys has been joined for the today's class. Can anyone, guys, please let me know who has been joined for the today's class? Today is your first class. Anyone is there? Just Kishore.
I joined today class. My name is Nagbhushan.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Okay, guys. No worries. Because yeah. Okay. So I can see some couple of guys, maybe some 4 or 5 people has been joined for the today's class. So just nothing has been happened, guys. So just we are in the demo introduction classes only. We are there. So just like what is Power BI, what are the features it provides, what exactly the Power BI provides the features. So we have been just discussed about. So I'm just muting you, all of you guys, because there will be some noise will be coming. So if you have any doubts, you can just, if you want to discuss anything, you can unmute yourself and you can discuss. Okay. So please keep yourself in mute. So if you have any questions, then you can unmute yourself and you can speak, guys. Right? Fine. So first of all, what is data visualization? So we all of you know that a Power BI is nothing but it is a data visualization tool actually, guys. So what is data visualization, and what is an importance of data visualization? Who exactly requires all these data visualization skills actually? So like